Welcome back to the Danger Zone. On today's episode, we are going to reassemble this guitar. Hopefully by the end of this episode, it will be in excellent playing condition. The first thing we're going to do right now is reinstall the electronics. All right, so one of the first things we got to do is we got this one pickup and it's got a broken pickup ring. So I'm just going to swap that out for one that's not broken. Okay. All right, now I think maybe the first thing that I'll do is install this stuff. So I'm just going to strip these wires back while I got it out of the guitar. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is just get this in there. So, all right. Okay, so so that's in there now. The next thing I'm going to put in is this output jack. Okay, so now I'm just going to hook up my my wires to this output jack. All right, so things are going to get a little bit crazy here for a minute. So turns out I totally messed up by filling in this hole here, because how it was working is all the wires from the pickup were coming through that hole, coming into the cavity here where the springs for the Floyd Rose are, and then going in through these holes into this chamber, which is not really the right way for that to happen. So what I'm going to do, which is potentially really sketchy right now, is I'm going to drill a hole from here through the body, and it's going to end up in here. So it's going to go basically from the cavity all the way through and end up here. So this is sketchy because, well, I could potentially ruin this guitar by doing this. So my fingers are crossed it's going to work. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We're taking some risks here today. So what I'm going to do is that's where I want to end, but in the pickup cavity. I've got this really long drill bit here. I'm going to aim for that, and I'm going to try to keep this from going through the front of the guitar. I'm pretty sure I can do it, so wish me luck. Just perfect. Just perfect. Okay, so that's where I went in with a big long drill bit. You can see. And then I'm just going to flip this over here. You can see that is where the drill bit came out. So that's exactly where I wanted it to come out. And yeah, it's going to work great. I'm really glad I didn't bust through the front of the guitar with that. Definitely could have gone a lot worse, but it went about as good as you could hope. So awesome. Those are really tight holes. There's a hole right here and a hole right here for the pickup wires to go through. I think I'm going to actually open those up a bit as well, just because they're very tight. Very tight. So. All right, so that was a little bit bigger of a hole than we needed in diameter, but it got us to where we need to go, and yeah, so it worked. All right, back to installing these guys. Oh, so easy. Fits so nice now. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. I guess we'll need some screws. Huh, I could see why that pickup ring broke. Yikes. The reason why this ring was, or kind of still is actually messed up, was these ears here on the back were just, they're just bent, causing it to get distorted. It still is. I don't know what's going on, to be quite honest, but it's a lot better than it was. So also these holes are not in the right spot either. So I'm gonna have to re-drill those holes a little bit better. I don't think it's ever gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be a lot better than it was. That's a lot better. The next step is installing a single coil. Okay, so that's 2 pickups installed. Now we're gonna go for the third one. Okay, so all the pickups are installed. Now we just need to wire them up. Just thinking about what I'm gonna do here, because I gotta extend the wire on that single coil. Okay, these are just some scraps I got in a box. I can do with what we have here. All right, so that should be good enough. I hope we can do this without having to, um, you know, take this bridge pickup out again. I don't think we're gonna be able to. This turned into a bit of a nightmare. So, oh, that was a lot of work. Hopefully, this is wired up correctly. I'm just gonna go inside and check it, and fingers crossed, I'll be coming back here saying it works great, and I can continue what I'm doing, reassembling this. I just wanted to come in for the sake of continuity to say that the electronics work. Now is the time that I've been dreading. I'm gonna try and get these dents out of here that I put in when I was hammering on it, putting the frets in like an idiot. So I'm gonna put a wet towel on top of it and then hit it with my iron. Hopefully that'll steam them out. This neck is just sitting on a sandbag. I'm actually gonna use some club soda on this rag because it's a little bit more convenient for me. Whoa. All right, so I just got this saturated down with club soda now. Probably water would be a better choice, but just gonna put it on here and just let her rip with the steam. Well, wouldn't you know, it worked. So I'm just gonna go through this whole fretboard and do this. Well, I'll be frick, that's hot. Oh, I know I said I wasn't gonna level these frets, but I feel like I owe it to myself to level these frets. So I'm just going to go over each fret with a Sharpie and just color it black. So I've colored each fret. So the next step is I got this old level. It's my dad's old level. I just put some sandpaper along one edge of it. This is like 220 grit sandpaper. It's the finest stuff I got enough of to do this with. So because the level is perfectly flat, at least this one is, I checked it with a straight edge. Um, I can use this to make sure my frets are level. So I'm just gonna basically rub this on the frets just gently and see if I got any low frets. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit more on here and just see what we got. Looks like I still got a few low spots. I'm gonna put a bit more Sharpie on here. Still got a few spots. I'm just gonna do a little bit more on this side here. All right, so that's good enough for me. I'm just gonna power up my air compressor and blow all this dust off of here. Okay, so now I gotta crown these frets. Now I've got this fret crowning file from StewMac. Still have some of this super glue on the fretboard here, so maybe I'll try getting that off of here now. All right, that's good enough for me. So now I'm just gonna throw some tape on these on this fretboard here. Okay, so as I mentioned, I got this StuMac medium large file. So let's try this. Okay, so those should all be shaped. Turns out that worked pretty good. Now I'm just gonna go over the edges of these frets with just with a little triangular file here. Just kind of make them a little bit nicer. Okay, so I got the ends of the frets all made nice. They're all nice and smooth now. Beautiful. So I'm just gonna blow this off again. I do have some of this stuff. It's called micro mesh, and yeah. So I guess I'm gonna try using this to polish them up. We'll see how that works. We're gonna start with the 2400 here. Now we'll go up to the 3200. Next is 3600, 4000, 6000, and then finally 12,000. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, so the next thing I guess will be get this tape off of here. Okay, so overall, I think it turned out all right. Fretboard, that is. I guess we'll keep putting the head stock back together. We'll throw the tuners in there. Okay. It's the moment we've all been waiting for, at least I have. She's back together again. Now I just got some of these parts on Amazon for the Floyd Rose. So we got a bar. All right, there we go. We got some fine tuners. And we got some new lock screws. Okay, so one thing I just noticed is there's this missing paint or whatever you call this stain right here. And I was always curious why that was, but this guitar never came with a bar on it. So I never really used the whammy bar, but what's actually happening is this bridge hole is not even cut properly into the guitar. So it's actually hitting the top of the guitar there. This side has clearance. This side doesn't. So I don't really want to get into the top of the guitar just because the signatures and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grind the edge of this bridge here just so it can actually fully function. I'm not gonna do that right now, but I am gonna do that before I put strings on it. What do we got left here? We got this back cover plate. We got our nut, which I think I lost a screw for like a idiot. You know what? Maybe we'll just steal one from the back cover. That seems more reasonable. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna leave this off because I I never put these on my guitar. I like to be able to get to the springs easily so I can adjust them. So I've got a couple strap buttons there. These screws all suck. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna shut it down for right now because honestly, I'm getting tired. So I'll come back to this. I'll finish it up. Trust me. So as you can see, I ended up getting some strings on it. I put the strap buttons on. You see that one there. And we got that one there. Also, I ground the bridge so it can fully move and it doesn't hang up on the body. You can pull up on it and obviously go down as well. But the problem I'm having now is the action is horrible. So that's 7/64ths of an inch on the low E, 8/64ths on the high E. Now, the problem is I already have this bridge dropped in here as far as it will go, so I can't even lower the bridge anymore. So what I'm gonna have to do is throw a wedge underneath this neck and get the neck angle tilted back a bit more. It's just gonna be a bit of a pain, but that's the way she goes. All right, so we got to make some kind of shim to go in this neck pocket. You can buy pre-made shims, uh, and unfortunately, I do not have any. So we're gonna have to kind of just do this the old-fashioned way. So the old-fashioned way would be just to use like a piece of cardboard, and by cardboard I mean like cereal box cardboard, not corrugated cardboard. So I'm in my garage and I have an exhaust clamp. We can use the exhaust clamp box to make ourselves a shim. And what I'm going to do is just get a piece of this. For this particular guitar, I think I said I had like between 7 and 8 64ths of clearance. And I want to get that down to maybe like 4 or 3. So that means I need to raise the bottom here up like 3/64ths. So I think what I'm gonna do is have like 3 layers of cardboard at the front here. Put a little mark on that cardboard. So man, I just got a frog in my throat. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make this fit into this neck pocket as good as I can. Okay, and then we got to put a little bit of a radius there and a little bit of a radius there. Okay, so that fits in there pretty good. Our first piece, you know what? Maybe we'll come to like here. So I'm just going to cut it off there. Okay, so we got a little bit of a piece there. And then I'm going to want to make another piece, but I want to make it a little bit shorter than this one. So this piece here, maybe I'll make there. So you see, or we'll flip it like that so you can see better. So we got the one piece and we got another piece there. Actually, I'm going to make this even a little bit shorter. So we'll put it like that. Okay. And then I'm going to make another piece that's even shorter. So you can see I'm kind of creating like a wedge kind of shape where it's going to be thick close to this end and it's going to get a little bit thinner as we go. So we got that one and we're just going to cut this one off like that. Okay, so you see what I'm doing here? Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Okay, so I got my 3 layers there, and I'll just measure how thick that is. So that's like 5/64ths. So yeah, it's gonna be pushing it, but you know what? Let's just push it. Okay, so we'll put that in there like that. Okay, so it's gonna be tricky because I didn't want to take my strings out of the bridge, and I didn't want to take them out of the nut here. So it's kind of going to be a little bit of a dance to get this in here properly. Okay, that should be all right. Now we got to get our bridge back in here. So right now I'm just making sure that I can pull it all the bar all the way back and not have the strings fret out up here. So that one's good. Okay, so it's super out of tune right now. Whoa. But I have successfully lowered the action. I'm gonna go get this tuned up. I'm gonna get it playing, and I'm gonna see if I need to raise my action at all from that. And I'll show it when I'm done to show where I finally ended up with the action on it. All right, so great news. I got it set up. It's playing great. I'm just gonna show where I got to with the action. So on the low E string, we got 5/64ths. On the high E, we got 4/64ths. What I got here is a spike. Like what you'd put on your leather jacket or your bracelet or whatever. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to put it on here. So I got the screw out of it, and then I'm just going to basically screw it on to the switch. Kind of just goes on there, and you screw it on, and it'll thread right on there. There, now she's on there. And you got like a real cool selector switch. All right, so I guess that's it. Now I just gotta give the final little exhibition of it. So yeah, it turned out real good, I think. It's playable now, so that's the main thing. Just show the back here quickly. So there's the back. It's had this big scratch in it the whole time, but you know, it's looking a lot better now. It's definitely playing a lot better, so that's the main thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna be real with you. I don't have like the best recording setup right now. All I've got is this Fender FM 212R amplifier. I'm going into the clean channel on it. I got treble, mids, and bass all on 5. And then I got my reverb cranked, of course. And then from there, we got a cable, and that's going into the Boss digital metalizer, and then just going into my guitar here. So I'll plug that in. But yeah, anyways, and then all I'm actually recording it with is my lapel mic. So it's gonna sound pretty bad, but I'm just showing you that it works. So bear with me and hopefully forgive me. Alright, at this point, I actually switched out the digital metalizer for the Boss Metal Zone. In my opinion, it just sounds a lot better. But anyways, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see my next crazy project. I'll be posting a video on that next week. Until then, talk to you later.